Welcome to Kingsborough Community College on the shores of the Atlantic Ocean in Brooklyn, New York. Tonight on Facebook Live, it's championship night in the CUNY Athletic Conference. It's a community college women's and men's basketball championship doubleheader. The ladies are first as five-time defending champion and top-seeded Hostos battles two-seeded Borough of Manhattan Community College. And with that, good evening and welcome. Alongside former Dowling College coach Scott Green, I'm Ralph Bednarczyk. Tonight, Hostos looks to extend their dynasty at least another year in the CUNYs. Last year, they went all the way to the national championship game and lost. They brought back 4 players. But standing in the way tonight, Scott, BMCC, they've scrapped together a quality team that hopes to slow them down tonight.
Well, it's been a great story. They come out at the beginning of the year looking to try to just put together a squad. They put together 6 players, and here they find themselves in the championship. Not going to be an easy task today. Hostos, one of the top teams in the area. They come in with a well-balanced scoring attack. 5 players averaging double figures, none more than 14 and none less than 12.
Currently ranked number 9 in the country in Junior College Division III, and including the 6'3" CUNY Player of the Year, Ayanna Hicks.
Ayanna Hicks, just a long, lanky player. She can get it done. She dominates the paint. Coming into the season, put a lot of time in to make herself more efficient, both offensively and defensively. She has emerged as a go-to player and has been named the CUNY CCC Player of the Year, averaging 14 and 8. 10 double-doubles on the season.
Meanwhile, for BMCC, that key addition came after the first semester already started. Emily Kennedy was already on campus and has blossomed into an all-star.
Wow, she has been a terrific player for this squad this year. She missed the first 9 games of the season, been dominating the stat sheet ever since at 20 points per game. A pure scorer. She can knock down the 3. She gets to the rim. And most important for Emily tonight, she needs to get her shot going early and often.
BMCC trying to stand in the way of the latest version of the Hostos women's basketball dynasty. The CUNY Community College Championship game is coming up next on Facebook Live.
At the point guard position, a sophomore, standing 5'4" from Brooklyn, New York, number 1.
So BMCC and Hostos here. Let's have a look at the starters. Hostos and BMCC taking the floor for the 3rd time this season. The Caymans 10-0 against CUNY competition. They've won 9 straight, 18-4 overall. BMCC with just 6 players. Morales Tomby, the lone returner from last year. Damaris Andrews was all conference, as well as Emily Kennedy, the top 2 scorers, and Kayla Rodriguez. For head coach Demel Ling, and here for Hostos, as their starters are being introduced. Tall lineup with Ayanna Hicks and 6'3" Lanesia Drain, who is also CUNY All-Star. Savannah Williams was last year's Rookie of the Year. Diamond Walker, also a 2-time CUNY All-Star. And then Fatoumata Diaby, 5'10" from the Bronx, by way of Mali in Africa. Tremendous story that we'll dive into as we go. Our coach is Demel Ling. He's coached in the area a long time, including spending 5 years at St. Anthony's in Jersey City on the boys' side under Hall of Fame coach Bob Hurley. Last year, he was an assistant coach at Division II CUNYAC College. On the women's side, he's also been both on the staffs of the St. Patrick's School boys and girls staffs as well, and was a junior college coach at Union County College. Over on the men's side, takes over this job, and Dwight Shaw, 2 for 2 in being CUNY Community College Coach of the Year. Last year took the team all the way to the national championship game and lost a competitive game to Owens Community College. And he's here looking for another title and to go through and playing great basketball ahead of the Region 15 tournament, which is next. That's a 16 tournament. The winner of that tournament will go to the Junior College National Championship, which is a 12-team tournament. Men's game will follow. Queensborough will take on BMCC as well. And the 2 previous meetings, Scott, BMCC lost lopsided games. Demel Ling stressed the importance of the early minutes.
Yeah, I mean, this is so important. They were able to stick around early on in those first 2 games, but then just talent took over, and they said tonight, if they're going to try to slow up the clock, move the basketball, and try to prevent them from getting out into quick runs.
Well, they won't bother go up for the tap against the 6'3" Ayana Hicks. And we're underway, and BMCC opening up in a zone look. And on the baseline drive, and there's an easy 2 for Savannah Williams. And we are underway. Hostos averaging nearly 70 points per game. That's down from where they were last year, which was about 81. As we'll get a little foul against Diamond Walker on the first possession on the trap outside.
Well, and this is what Hostos was able to do so well, is they're able to beat you baseline, they're able to beat you off the dribble, and their offense is predicated on speed and quickness, and then in defensive transition.
And for BMCC, Damaris Andrews, nearly 17 a game. Kennedy, nearly 21 points per game. Can both of those 2 players have grade A games to keep BMCC perhaps close? Andrews, shot clock down to 3, then shovel the pass inside, and it's stolen. Savannah Williams on the push. Walker finds the trailer. Lenasia Drain, wild shot looking for the foul call perhaps. And Andrews with the outlet for Emily Kennedy. 2 teams met 10 days ago. It was 88-53 the final for Hostos, but Demel Ling took some positives from that game, wanting to slow down the tempo as they are right here.
Well, yeah, and that's what they're trying. They're going to try to move the basketball, utilize the shot clock, but you don't want to get yourself caught like now where you're under 5 seconds and you're put in desperation.
Offensive rebound inside after the missed shot by Kennedy. And following the scrap, it's Ayana Hicks that is up with it. Fatoumata Diaby. She takes the wild shot in transition, and BMCC has it. Panthers appearing in their 14th CUNY championship game in program history, while the Caymans, they're seeking their 6th straight title. In that February 7th game, Emily Kennedy went for 30 points. And there's an air ball from Andrews. Ayana Hicks, Fatoumata Diaby, and she traveled before the shot.
But this is what makes Hostos so well, is when you're big, can get the ball out, like a Hicks, can rebound at 6'3", bring the ball up the floor, and then distribute. That's what makes it so tough to guard them.
The other real positive for BMCC in that February 7th meeting, they only turned it over 23 times. Taking the ball into traffic, and there is Drain, and that's a travel before the tie-up by Emily Kennedy. Kennedy with 4 double-doubles on the year, including a Division III Junior College National Player of the Week, February 1st. Ayana Hicks steps out for the 3, and Diaby will rebound the miss. Out to Diamond Walker. And Hostos, not a great 3-point shooting team, just 26%. And in junior college, that's just an okay number. And Kennedy, under pressure, turns it over.
Well, you know, if you're starting to evaluate 3 minutes at a time, you have to look at it and say, hey, BMC has to be pleased right now. They're doing a pretty good job defensively, getting them back in defensive transition and forcing Hostos to get into long-range jump shots.
Drain, surrounded, and we're going to tie up, and the arrow points the way of BMCC. Scott, when you're undersized, the hope from Demel Ling was, can we swarm Lenasia Drain today?
Well, Lenasia Drain, when she gets inside the paint, she becomes that presence. She's had some big games this year, so you can't let her get comfortable.
Open jumper is short by Kayla Rodriguez, a freshman from Brooklyn, attended Richmond Hill High School in Queens. Diamond Walker. Wave it off, offensive foul. And that's number 2 on the best point guard in the league.
That's just a great job stepping in and taking the charge. And, you know, when you can jump in, get good positioning, thought it was a very good call by the official. You know, that's what it's all about, stopping the ball in transition.
Both teams low on numbers. BMCC just has one player on the bench, while Hostos has two. Zaire Bailey will check in for the first time, a freshman from the Bronx. Again, BMCC will hold to take some time off the clock. Andrews makes her move with about 12, and she is called for traveling.
Well, Damaris Andrews, she's going to try to control tempo of this game, and it's playing at a very slow level. This is exactly how Daniel Ling wanted to play this.
Open look at a three, Walker, that doesn't go, but there on the follow is Savannah Williams. So she's got both buckets and early timeout by Demel Ling.
Demel Ling will talk things over, and you know, when you're forcing players to take long shots and you give them second opportunities, that's when you get yourself in trouble.
So the Caymans here with another basket. They're up at 4-0. Just another dominant year for the Caymans at 18-4, 17-6 last year. They won consecutive national championships in 2018 and 19. This year, a little bit more modest. Preseason number 2 in the country, ranked number 9 right now. But particularly on the defensive end, they have been stout.
Yeah, I saw them play earlier in the year. You know, they were playing Nassau Community College, and you know, we're going to talk a little bit about where this team goes from here and the level of competition and how it changes, you know, throughout our game here. But you know, you had a kid like Ashley Vigliotti at Nassau Community College that stole that game for Nassau, and that was a 77-73 game. Terrific basketball game.
Damaris Andrews trying to get inside, and she'll go to the free throw line. 2 shots coming for her.
Damaris Andrews does a nice job getting off the dribble, making the drive. Rookie of the year in the conference. She's one of those players that, you know, when she gets it into her hands, she could do some nice things with it.
Coming off of a 25-point, 10-rebound game against Queensboro in the semifinal. She's out of Bayonne, New Jersey. And Demel Ling's alma mater, Hudson Catholic, where she had torn her ACL as a sophomore, played sparingly as a junior in the shortened 2021 pandemic year. And then last year, a 1-year starter in her senior year, and has parlayed that to a great season here. She's got both free throws, and it's 4-2. Hicks then had it stripped, and BMCC with good active hands by Kennedy.
BMCC is trying to pick up the tempo a little bit defensively, and this is what I like to see. You don't like to see a team just sit back and try to force the team to go through the shot clock. And every once in a while, you mix it up, and so far they've been doing a nice job of that.
Hostos has opened up 2 of 7. Diaby tried to 3, offensive rebound. Hicks right back inside, and Bailey is fouled.
And a good pass inside, trying to make something happen, and you get the ball into Bailey, and Zaire Bailey does a good job squaring off the shoulders.
Zaire did not play high school basketball. She attended a theater school. Scott, you would know something about that with your daughter heavily involved. She is from the Theater Arts Production High School in the Bronx. But they found her in the summertime playing summer hoops. Dwight Shaw was recruiting her friend who's going to be coming to Hostos next year. She decided to join up this year and will be on the team next year to play with a friend. And that's kind of a microcosm of the stories of how coaches find players at the JUCO level. And Bailey has provided valuable minutes and depth for the Caymans.
And I have a lot of friends that coach at the JUCO level, and you know, who have coached at one point or another at this level, and I give them all the credit in the world. It's one of the toughest jobs to coach, to be able to bring players in, to get them to commit for 2 years, and that's a great move to the basket, and that's what they're going to need to do. Emily Kennedy, you know, we talked about her in the open and her ability to drive the lane, but going back to my point, Ralph, to be able to coach at this level, it is so difficult. And just a great job driving the lane, splitting the defenders, and having the concentration to finish the play.
Kennedy called a pure score, has gone for 30-plus points twice this year. So it is just a one-point game, and here is BMCC a chance to take the lead midway through the first quarter. And their recipe of slowing the game down so far working out. Get an extra pass, Rodriguez. Andrews. Alicia Tomby stepping out, and she's wild on the three. Diamond Walker playing with 2 fouls. And she'll take the pull-up and force that, but got it back. Walker the skip, Kennedy, and Kennedy's able to save it. And the Panthers able to turn over Hostos for the 5th time.
And they're doing a good job on the weak side. And, you know, this is the tempo they want to play in.
Andrews taking the lane, Hicks challenging the shot. Run out, Diamond Walker with Diaby, and Diaby will score.
And this is how Hostos wants to play. They want to play transition basketball. They don't want to make this a half-court game.
Aaron pass, but it carries through, and Kennedy will settle the offense.
And I think if Hostos wants to play that fast tempo, it has to start on the defensive side of the ball, because just like you just saw there.
Andrews trying to fire the pass in, and then she has to foul Savannah Williams.
Yeah, their defense has to get to their offense, and getting a hand in the passing lane, that's what Ayanna Hicks wants to do, and then she's able to get the ball down the lane and let Williams get to the basket.
Savannah Williams out of White Plains High School, class of 2020. Dwight Shaw calls her our Rajon Rondo. She'll do everything, things that won't show up necessarily in the stat sheet. Had a rough injury year for her, dealing with an ankle on 2 separate occasions. And hoopsters in the New York tri-state area will know her father, Ches Williams, a longtime AAU coach. Programs such as New Heights, once coached WNBA star, UConn star Bria Hartley. As Williams makes 1 of 2. Trap put on by Hostos, and Andrews able to break it. Kennedy, tough shot in traffic, and the loose ball gathered, then Andrews able to intercept the outlet. Back to Kennedy, and Hicks is able to block it, last touched by Kennedy out of bounds.
And you know, I like the way the officials are calling this game. They're allowing some physicality, allowing the bumps, you know, to play, and that's what keeps the flow of the game going.
Ayanna Hicks has shown the ability to shoot the 3 this year. Well short that time. Hicks this year 28% from 3, 34 threes for a 6'3" player. And that pass carries through, and Hicks comes up with the steal. Hicks then drops it off, and Bailey is fouled.
No, and it's only been 7.5 minutes, and I'm so impressed with Ayanna Hicks and just her ability defensively to anticipate, run the break, make good decisions on the passes. She's a good young player.
Bailey will go to the line. She'll shoot 2.
Bailey with 2 more shots. BMCC has turned it over 8 times in this first quarter. Bailey, good-looking free throw stroke for a player that has not played any high school basketball. Last time she played was in middle school prior to this year. BMCC 1 of 9 from the floor. Andrews trying to get around Hicks, and does.
And that's a tough move there for Andrews going up against the 6'3" Hicks.
Williams wave it off, the travel, the hop step before the shot.
And now you watch Hicks. Her arms are straight up in the air and still being able to get around and make that play. That's a quality move.
Kennedy is able to break pressure, but then turned it over. Diamond Walker. And Hostos will keep it. Their lead is just 9-6. And here's a timeout taken by a visibly frustrated Dwight Shaw. The Caymans have had their way with CUNY competition now for almost a decade. They are working on a 57-game winning streak. But Demel Ling's team, he's put the recipe together, Scott, of slowing the game down, collapsing on Lineage Drain, and here we are at just 9-6.
You know, if you were to ask right now who has the leverage in their game plan, and right now it's BMCC.
But that dominance that has been incredible. The last time they lost a game against CUNY competition, the 2016 semifinals, 57 straight wins, 10 in a row in the regular season, the 5 straight tournament crowns. Of course, no tournament in 2021. They have had almost every single CUNY Player of the Year over the last decade, capped off by 2 consecutive Division III Junior College National Championships in 2019 and 18. Missed shot in the paint, offensive rebound, and Diamond Walker takes a contested shot against the zone and missed it. Andrews, and she's got the outlet in Kennedy. Alicia Tomby will try the 3. That's off. Here's Charlotte Cañete, the 6th player for BMCC on the floor for the first time. And Cañete loses as she joined the team in November. She's the BMCC soccer goalie. And they had a couple players leave the program early season. They had to add another body, and Cañete stepped up.
Final minute of play of the first quarter.
Inside and one, Dorina David just came on for Hostos off the good pass.
And this was just great court vision, being able to see over the defenders and finding David underneath. She's only 5'6", but she was able to catch the ball and go up strong.
David out of Longwood Prep High School in the Bronx, class of 21. She took 1 year off and was originally a commitment to Division III Mount St. Vincent in the Skyline. So she converts the 3-point play, and Hostos now 12-6. Kennedy breaking pressure all the way to the basket. And we'll see if that's going to be on the floor. And they will give Emily Kennedy 2 free throws.
And allowing Kennedy to drive right through the 2-2-1 full court pressure. You know, that's how tough she is with the basketball.
Kennedy is out of Benjamin Banneker Academy in Brooklyn. And the class of 21. Last year, she was at BMCC already as a student and was thinking about playing college basketball, so signed up for the field level showcase internet website for players to connect with coaches. Demel Ling happened to be on it and realized she's in my school already. There's Diamond Walker knocking down the 3.
Diamond Walker, she has a terrific outside shot. She just needs to get more opportunities to put those up.
Now Walker with the deflection, transition for Hostos. Walker takes the mid-range pull-up and knocks that down. A quick 5 points for her.
And this is the run that Hostos was trying to get, now building it into double digits.
And anticipating the pass there, Dorina David knocks it out. 8-1 run for Hostos. Final seconds, first quarter. Andrews is trapped. Kennedy. Wave that off. Offensive foul. Basket will not count. And Emily Kennedy picks up her first.
Well, it's good defensive stop there, stepping right in. And take a look at the positioning here without movement. Beautiful job.
4 seconds left. Ayana Hicks won't be able to get the shot off. So Hostos with the late run, and BMCC needing a perfect game plan. They've hung around at 17-7 at the end of one. You're watching the CUNY Community College Women's Basketball Championship game on Facebook Live.
How easy is health insurance with Healthfirst? Absolutely easy with our app. Can you search for a doctor? Absolutely. Can you access your member ID? Absolutely. Download our app today.
Hometown ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
I'll give you something, make you shake it, shake it. You better get yourself ready, 'cause I'm about to do my thing. Oh, hey, hey. I've seen it from the van, now we're dancing on the half rise. Oh, hey, hey. I'm turning on the dime, now we're flipping on the upside, upside, upside. I'm turning on the dime, now we're flipping on the upside.
BMCC midway through the first quarter very much was in the game before the late run by Hostos to extend to 10. It was 9-6 for a while. Ralph Bjornchik with Scott Green joining me here from Kingsborough Community College right on the shores of the Atlantic Ocean. And correction from earlier, Diamond Walker did not pick up her second foul of Hostos. She only has one, so nobody on the floor with 2 fouls yet. Here's Savannah Williams, and maybe overpassing here by Hostos. For the Caymans will keep it, and then firing the corner three was David. Zaire Bailey missing the follow. David into Savannah Williams, and we'll get a 3-second called, and Hostos may have overpassed there.
Yeah, a lot of unselfishness going on there. You know, when you're within that 6 feet radius there, someone wants to just put the ball up. You know, but hey, you know what? It beats being selfish, I guess. You know, I wouldn't have passed the ball.
There was 3 different opportunities for players to take shots. Damaris Andrews has 4, Emily Kennedy with 3 to comprise the BMCC scoring as expected. Andrews again took it into traffic. Ayana Hicks pushes transition, and then she fired the pass through looking for the cutting Walker. And they'll say last touched by BMCC.
Zaire Bailey has re-entered the game for the Caymans.
BMCC has stayed true to a 2-3 zone look. Baseline floater from David. And a travel called against Ayana Hicks underneath. Well, DeMel Ling did not miss words about BMCC's plan. And when you only have 6 players, Scott, you kind of have to go zone. Junk defense, the 2-3, the 3-2. He told us he's going to throw the kitchen sink at Hostos and see what works.
Yeah, and I talked to him before the game, and we were talking about the difficulties at practice, and there's a foul on the way to the basket, but we talk about the difficulties at practice when you have 6 players. Being able to play what another team is playing, to go offense, defense, that's a nice strong move as she's been doing all game long. But what they do is their coaches jump in and play defense against them. And he says, he goes, you know, it's tough for me to get up and down the floor like I used to. but it's very difficult to play that way.
Demel Ling played at Wheaton College up in Massachusetts. 4 years he was all-region. He was the player during his time. Definitely could still box you out, Scott.
Well, no question about it. I wasn't the rebounder, Ralph. You know that.
Damaris Andrews, 2 free throws. 66% coming in. And Diaby may have dragged the pivot foot initially.
I never met a three-point line I didn't like.
So Hostos turns it over for the 9th time. The Caymans in these 5 consecutive championships, a lot of lopsided, easy victories as that shot is missed from the corner by Yasneli Morales. Last year winning by 46 points. Hicks, offensive foul. Andrews steps in to take the charge. That's number 2 on Ayanna Hicks.
Ayanna Hicks catches the ball, quick first step, and that was just a really good job by Damaris Andrews stepping up, taking that charge right at the block. That's right at that question mark spot where are you taking it too low or you're getting it outside, and I thought she did a nice job. I really like this Damaris Andrews. She is going to be a really nice player for BMCC.
Kennedy floats that up. Tough shot, offensive rebound, pulled out by BMCC's Kayla Rodriguez. Again, the double on Kennedy. And then Kennedy just lost it. Diaby, nice pass ahead for Savannah Williams.
And that's the transition basketball that Hostos wants to play. Get the ball out, 2 passes, no dribbles, get the finish, and this is what we're talking about. Throw it right over the top, in transition, and laying it off the glass.
Savannah Williams with 7 points to pace the Caymans. This is Demel Ling's first year for BMCC, and what a career he has had. Last year, an assistant at Division II Nyack College in Jersey City, but Scott, you and I have kind of crossed paths with him a little bit. He was at Caldwell on the women's side for a couple of years there. Then as the Patrick School girls coach over there in Union County, was a Union County CC, and then before that, he was the JV coach and varsity assistant for the great Bob Hurley Sr. at St. Anthony's, the now closed St. Anthony's.
Well, and he's been cut from the cloth of a lot of great coaches out there. I mean, you just mentioned, Bob Hurley, and people know that household name of basketball in the state of New Jersey and in the nation. But then you look at guys like Mark Corino, who some people may not know. He's the long-time Hall of Fame coach at Caldwell, and he's had an opportunity to work with him as well.
Kennedy splits the trap. Emily Kennedy all the way to the basket and draws another Hostos foul. And this is going to be number 2 on Diamond Walker.
And a nice move to the basket, trying to make something happen, and you saw that little hand come out and reach for the basketball.
And Hicks, number 23, has re-entered the game. Emily Kennedy will go to the line. She'll shoot 2.
And the approach from Demel Ling as he's trying to encourage Emily Kennedy to be a scorer. How do you do that, Scott, for a player that he says she's a natural facilitator? How do you get someone like that to think scoring on a team that has to have you score 30?
Well, it's so hard to do that because he or she wants to distribute, and then when your best scorer is also your best distributor, it makes it very, very difficult.
Savannah Williams missed the fall away. There is Ayanna Hicks just towering over everybody. That's her first basket of the game.
Well, when Ayanna Hicks settles herself on the block like that, not many people are going to be able to stop her.
Active hands. Bailey with the tip. The steal picked up by David. Then Zaire Bailey all the way. Missed the shot there. And a tough board by Andrews. And then Kennedy is going to be trapped. And the arrow points to Hostos.
And this is the Hostos pressure. that we've been waiting to see, and the reason why they really get up on a lot of teams, and this is what forces their transition.
Diaby. Decent look from the free throw line. Andrews. Can any of the supporting cast from BMCC hit a couple baskets today? Morales threw it away. Savannah Williams all the way to the basket. 9 in the opening half. Timeout BMCC.
Well, how good does Savannah Williams run the floor? You know, she's as quick with the basketball as she is without the basketball. And she's a north-south player and just a strong move and a finisher.
So the Caymans have continued to expand their lead. Savannah Williams, we talked about her story, has dealt with a lot of injuries this year after being a terrific player last year, 12.7 rebounds, and leading them all the way to the national championship game at the national championship tournament in Minnesota. The Caymans, just to give you some context, last year the Caymans against CUNY competition outscored opponents 81.5 points to 19 in league play. This year, a little bit closer, 70 points to 32 points per game by CUNY opponents, as the rest of the programs able to refill their rosters a little bit more as the pandemic shutting down schools in the 2021 seasons. No CUNY athletics were played that year. Last year, very skeleton rosters. LaGuardia Community College welcoming back athletics to add another team again. That pass carried all the way through, and the shot off glass doesn't go for Morales. Decent look. But the Caymans, now for pushing a decade, have left the bar very high. Hicks missed a three, and a good rebound inside, but the layup missed by Bailey. Kennedy. And again swarmed with the ball knocked out of bounds.
You know, we've seen Ayanna Hicks take a couple threes. Obviously, she feels comfortable with taking a shot from that range. Her form looks terrific. She looks well set on her shot. If she could ever start knocking those down at her size, she becomes that much of a better player at the next level.
Yeah, as I touched on before, Scott, she's got 34 threes on the year, 28%. A number perhaps as a coach you would live with.
Without a doubt. I mean, she could shoot that ball, and it's going to be tough to defend her at that size from the perimeter. Now let's put it in perspective when Hostos gets to the next level of games, in the next regions, there's going to be some better players. They're going to be quicker. They're going to be more physical, better ball handlers.
A turnover intended inside for Kayla Rodriguez, and Savannah Williams has another easy basket on the other end.
Savannah Williams is creating these baskets for herself because she runs her lane so effectively.
And there's an inbounding violation. Kennedy making the mistake. Andrews was not yet established in.
And this is what Williams does. She looks, she catches the ball right over her shoulder and catches, finishes. And that's what she does so effectively today.
Hicks got the inbound and missed the shot. It's been a tough shooting game for her. And there is an and one. Good interior passing. Darina David will go to the line.
You know, this is what Hostos, we talked about, them being so unselfish on the offensive end. That's what gives them such good looks.
The rebound tipped out by Bailey. Diaby hits the three. Fatoumata Diaby, just her third three of the year, was 2 of 25. Although they're calling that a 2. But she's got the knockdown from distance. And the lead to 19. Andrews. And Andrews took the extra step.
And this is what Hostos will do to you. They wear you down. You know, they allow teams to stick around those first few minutes, give them some of that hope, but then athleticism takes over.
Hicks turned it over. A gift inside. David unselfishly inside to Hicks for the layup.
You know, this is a case here where you have to have Damaris Andrews. You saw her give the ball up there, but on the offensive end, Damaris Andrews at this point now just starts to have to looking for hers. This is where my timeout comes in. We get him in a huddle. I grab Damaris and say, this is on you, kid.
Diaby hits the shot off the glass off another steal by Zaire Bailey. And now Andrews trapped along the sideline, and it's another turnover, the 19th by BMCC.
And this is where it becomes so tough for a guy like, you know, DeMelling. He has to think about what else can we possibly throw at them at this point.
David airballed the shot inside, but Zaire Bailey is there on the offensive glass. Timeout BMCC. Hostos has blown it open here in the second quarter. It's an 18-3 period.
You know, you come out with your game plan, and, you know, it was a 5-4, 6-5 game. They were able to stick around because they controlled tempo. Now, Hostos just has the tempo in this one.
20 turnovers in the first half by BMCC. And so the Caymans have done what they've done for nearly the last decade, particularly over the last 5 championship games, and that's blow people out and turn them over at a great rate. Last year, 86-40 as an example. 2 years ago, another lopsided victory, 91-46 over Kingsborough. And for Dwight Shaw, he knows they're going to be a top 2 or 3 seed in the Region 15 tournament, but he still feels they can play a lot more cleaner against quality competition.
Well, it does. We just mentioned before, you know, when you start getting to the next level, you start getting into that Region 15, they're bigger, they're stronger, they're more athletic, and they're also, you know, just better basketball IQ players. And I think that's where that challenge is going to come in. You know, here where they missed a few layups, you can't miss those layups when you get to Region 15.
A corner 3 is buried. Charlotte Cañete. That's only her 3rd basket of the year. And she was 0 of 9 from 3 before that shot.
And those are the kind of shots we're just talking about. They had a couple missed opportunities underneath. When they get into that Region 15 play, they're going to have to be able to knock those down. And how about this shot here from Charlotte Cañete? What a good-looking shot.
Soccer goalie in a shortened season in the fall. Varsity wrestler in the PSAL. They have girls wrestling in the PSAL. Did not play high school basketball at Flushing High School, but they needed an additional body, and she joined in one of the experience of a lifetime that she is having.
I mean, just to be able to hit a three-point shot in a championship game is something that you're making memories on.
That'll live forever on Facebook Live here from Kingsborough, 35-13. And an offensive foul drawn by Bailey. She's giving Hostos great minutes. Number 2 on Damaris Andrews.
Well, this is just a great job. I mean, I don't know how she got that position. She did. Both feet were down, stationary. Great defensive stop.
Williams, crossover dribble off the baseline. And stepping out of bounds was BMCC as they tried to outlet. And then Hicks on the inbound. like you're throwing up an alley-oop in the women's game for her.
Well, you know, you figure this. She's 6'3". You put her arms up in the air, that makes her about 8'5", and goes up and just got her leg tangled around her neck. But what a tough kid Hicks is.
And that's Cañete that tried to go up for it. We'll take time out here from Kingsborough. Hostos leads BMCC.
How easy is health insurance with Healthfirst? Absolutely easy with our app. Can you search for a doctor? Absolutely. Can you access your member ID? Absolutely. Download our app today.
And she was able to get up and walk over to the BMCC bench. But the Panthers with just 6 players, so that's how thin the margin is. Underneath, Hicks, the pass came inside, and Savannah Williams cleaned up her initial miss.
You know, and just the initial as a beautiful steal and just off the mark. And these are a couple of those chippies that Hostos is going to have to be able to continue to make. But Ayanna Hicks, I mean, she has the court sense, catches the ball immediately, able to distribute the basketball. And, you know, and I'm looking here, Ralph, and, you know, she played at Murray Bertram High School, one of the top high school girls programs in New York State year after year, and she's had the training, she has the pedigree. This kid, when she gets on the weights and she builds herself up, she could be a really good ball player.
Well, Dwight Shaw has put the message out there for Division II, Division III coaches to have a look. Yasneli Morales missed the shot. Savannah Williams took it in, and Andrews challenged and commits the foul, and that'll be her 3rd.
Just a good job going hard to the basket. You know, that's one thing I got to say about this Hostos program. They don't shy away from any defender.
Savannah Williams at 70%, 3 double-doubles, 1 triple-double this season. Talented all-around athlete. Also on the Hostos volleyball team, where she was all-region as an outside hitter. That'll be another foul on Hostos, and that's going to be 5 team fouls with 2:46 left, and we'll have free throws coming up on the other end. This was only a 9-6 game about 6 minutes in, first quarter, and BMCC's their recipe for success. You knew they'd have to pitch a perfect game, and for a while it appeared like they'd be able to extend it for some time. But they've turned it over now 23 times. Damaris Andrews making the first. She's pursuing business management and hopes to graduate from BMCC and pursue basketball the next level in 2 years as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, the foul is charged to number 11, Fatima Diaby, the 2nd.
1 of 2 for Andrews. Hostos 39% from the floor. And that shot blocked out of bounds. Caymans had to go through some adversity themselves. They did bring back 4 returners and 7 incoming players. But they had some attrition too with players leaving the program as Hicks tried to save it from a backcourt violation. And it'll go back to the Caymans. They were ranked #1 in the country in the early season before they lost to Monroe on November 29th. That's a scholarship Division I junior college program.
Monroe's always very talented.
Hicks able to block the shot of Andrews. Savannah Williams in transition again. And that's going to be an offensive foul on Williams. So stepping in to take that, Alicia Tomby.
And Williams was looking shocked. She's looking over at her coach and saying, well, what did I do there? And
meanwhile, BMCC has not been able to get Emily Kennedy Scott, any shots in this second quarter.
They've pretty much shut her down.
And Kennedy, she'll be tied up here. Arrow keeps it with BMCC.
Well, whenever Kennedy catches the ball on the wing, she's being doubled up, and they're pretty much taking her vision away on anything.
Emily Kennedy just 1 of 3 shooting. Just 3 attempts this deep into the game. She and Damaris Andrews in the semifinal each attempted 29 shots apiece. And that's an offensive foul on Kennedy, and that's her second.
Yeah, this has been terrific defense. Being able to step up, take the charge, and in traffic. That one there, maybe a little bit questionable there. but they're doing a good job. I love the attempts of taking a charge.
Kennedy, of course, has to remain in the game. Nice skip pass. Ayana Hicks had her feet set. And Kayla Rodriguez rips down the miss. And nearly a disaster on the ball going right back up before Savannah Williams puts it back up and in. Kennedy, trying to find her game, will get to the free throw line.
And this is where having 6 players is so difficult. You know, when you're struggling and you're trying to face some adversity, tough move to the basket. Usually you like to get the kids out, to have a seat for a moment or two, gather their thoughts, get some wind going, get a little water, and then get back into the game. You don't have that opportunity when you have 6 players.
Five of BMCC's 6 wins on the season came when Emily Kennedy joined the team for Game 10.
Final minute of play of the first half.
But she misses both free throws. Final minute, first half. The explosion has come in the second quarter for Hostos. Savannah Williams in the sweet spot against the zone. She has 18 in the opening half, outscoring the Panthers by herself.
Wow, what a first half for Savannah Williams.
Andrews takes the easy layup around Hicks.
And they got to get Andrews more involved into this offense in the second half. If you're going to discuss a halftime strategy, it's to get the ball in the hands of Damaris Andrews.
Diaby. Hicks, offensive rebound, and Andrews is going to get called for the foul. And that's her 4th.
Foul charged for 23, Damaris Andrews.
And there's the other disadvantage when you have 6 players. You can't take players out when they get into foul trouble.
Hostos on 2 different occasions this year, Scott, with their injury issues that we'll detail a little bit further in the second half. But they had a game this year where they won against a decent program, Rowan Gloucester Community College down in South Jersey. They lost Savannah Williams in that game. They won it by 2 with only 3 players the whole second half. Hicks made 1 free throw. Andrews, traveling call. That's going to be the end of the first half. Hostos with a big second quarter. They've blown it open, 26-9 in the second period. They forced 27 BMCC turnovers. We're coming back with more, including highlights, and we'll hear from Lizzie Navarro of Healthfirst in a moment.
2022-23 CUNY Athletic Conference Championships are presented by Healthfirst, health insurance for New Yorkers, the official wellness sponsor of CUNY Athletics. The Hospital for Special Surgery, #1 in the U.S. for orthopedics, is proud to be the official hospital of the CUNY Athletic Conference. CUNY University Student Senate, providing our students the platform to shape the City University of New York. And Hometown Ticketing, the official ticketing provider of the CUNY Athletic Conference.
How easy is health insurance with Healthfirst? Absolutely easy, with our app. Can you search for a doctor? Absolutely. Can you access your member ID? Absolutely. Download our app today.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
I'll give you something, make you shake it, shake it. You better get yourself ready, 'cause I'm about to do my thing. Oh, hey, hey. I'm sitting from the van, now I'm dancing on the half price. Oh, hey, hey. I'm turning on the dime, now I'm flipping on the upside, upside, upside. I'm turning on the dime, now I'm flipping on the upside.
Today is, kind of a part of a holistic program offering, camps for the summertime for youth. It serves a multi-purpose. It's providing programming for youth with disabilities in New York City, in the summer, just like their able-bodied peers would have, but as well as it's an opportunity to showcase the program and some of our current student athletes, and looking for that, like kind of those next generational CUNY athletes.
We're trying to promote equality so that all these student athletes and adaptive athlete students could actually go to the next level, play college basketball, and have also the opportunity to go to the Paralympics that is actually going on as we speak.
Like adaptive sports in the disabled community is a huge component of just our culture, our way of life, right? And so to provide these high-level opportunities where we're teaching the game at this type of level with myself and, Coach Paul and some of our student athletes, I think is a great opportunity. But it also, it's a testament to CUNY's commitment to our students with disabilities to provide them, a holistic academic approach, but also an opportunity to play athletics like their able-bodied peers would.
Being new to wheelchair basketball, I learned really quickly that it's very inclusive, and sometimes having a disability, you are excluded from things, but this is a great opportunity so that I know, looking at my peers and others like coming in, that if they can do it, I can too. So it just pushes me forward to pass my goals to become a doctor, right? And then I see other people like me, and I have a sport that I can enjoy and they're with everyone else. So it's really great, and it's an awesome opportunity to have. So I really appreciate it.
We have 30 student athletes over 14 different CUNY campuses, and we'll have 5 more that'll come in the January semester, right? So hats off to them doing, virtual workouts and, all of the, performing well academically with a combined 3.3 GPA. They really fought for this, and adaptive sports programs at the collegiate level are really difficult to start. When we play that first game, it's going to be a tremendous testament to their fortitude to stick with it. New York City is a tough city, and our student athletes are as well.
We're staying together, we're doing different Zoom workouts, and we're communicating, and we can't wait to get out there and start playing.
want you to come on over here to the scores table.
The Hostos Caymans well on their way towards a 6th straight CUNY Community College Championship. 43-16 our halftime score. Back in Kingsborough in Brooklyn, Ralph Bednarczyk alongside Scott Reed. Took them some time, Scott, to get going. Low scoring first quarter, and then 26-9 Hostos second quarter separated as we have a look at our highlights.
Well, they were able to keep it close to the first 3 minutes, but then Hostos was able to take charge. Savannah Williams with a monstrous first half, able to put up 18 points on high percentage shots, 8 for 12 from the floor, able to get out into fast break. They were able to establish their transition game to get those easy buckets. Diamond Walker gets in the mix, knocking down a big three-point shot to really create separation. And here's Diamond Walker, just a couple feet in from before, hitting another quick one, 5 first half points, and then the big 6-3. Ayana Hicks getting it done, 5 points, 8 rebounds in the first half. All Hostos. Here are the stats.
Just 39% shooting for Hostos, but they killed them on the glass, and they of course turned over BMCC a ton, 27 times. And for the Caymans, they're trying to get sharp ahead of the Region 15 tournament and another run to the national championship game.
Oh, without a doubt. And when you create 28 points in the paint in the first half, that's going to help you. Field goal percentage, they got a lot of good high percentage shots, but they still need to finish those easy chippies. And when they do, they're going to compete in that Region 15.
43-16 is our halftime score. When we come back, we'll get a visit from Healthfirst District Sales Manager Lizzie Navarro in the third quarter, all on the way on Facebook Live.
That's 3, 2,
2022-23 CUNY Athletic Conference Championships are presented by Healthfirst, health insurance for New Yorkers, the official wellness sponsor of CUNY Athletics. The Hospital for Special Surgery, #1 in the U.S. for orthopedics, is proud to be the official hospital of the CUNY Athletic Conference. CUNY University Student Senate, providing our students the platform to shape the City University of New York. And Hometown Ticketing, the official ticketing provider of the CUNY Athletic Conference.
How easy is health insurance with Healthfirst? Absolutely easy with our app. Can you search for a doctor? Absolutely. Can you access your member ID? Absolutely. Download our app today.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
I'll give you something, make you shake it, shake it. You better get yourself ready, 'cause I'm about to do my thing. Oh, hey, hey. I've seen it from the van, now I'm dancing on the half rise. Oh, hey, hey. I'm turning on the dime, now I'm flipping on the upside, upside, upside. I'm turning on the dime, now I'm flipping on the upside.
Healthfirst Community College Women's Basketball Championship game tonight. Championship night overall, the men's game coming up. And here on Facebook Live, Ralph Bednarczyk now happy to welcome in Lizzie Navarro, District Sales Manager of Healthfirst, one of our main sponsors with the CUNY Athletic Conference. And she is based right here in Brooklyn to tell us about Healthfirst, a new sponsor, and what they have coming up down the road and in the present. Lizzie, thanks for being here. Healthfirst chose to sponsor and get involved specifically with college students.
That's correct.
Tell me about what that poll is like and how it relates well to Healthfirst and what that attraction is.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, thank you so much for having us, of course. And specifically for college students, Healthfirst is a health insurance by New Yorkers for New Yorkers. Therefore, the youth students, college, it's much as one of our important goals, right? We keep our members healthy, we keep our members happy, and in that, we also support what it is sports as well.
Lizzie, one of the things that's changed so much with health insurance, of course, people's lives have changed.
That's right.
Mainly we'll start with remotes.
That's
Telemedicine has exploded, of course, since the start of the pandemic. I think it probably would have eventually occurred, but it was accelerated. What's the current status of telemedicine with Healthfirst? That's probably one of the first and main questions you guys get asked.
That's right. So for Healthfirst specifically, we had telemedicine before the pandemic, so we were kind of on the right route per se, but with the pandemic, it accelerated a lot. For us, specialists, primary care, you name it, you will be able to see specialists virtually. We actually have our servicer, which is Teledoc, specifically that it's covered for all our plans.
What's telemedicine like today? I'm sure it's changing. I think people always have, especially the older generation, is probably apprehensive about it.
That's right.
How is it changing and how is it improving?
It's improving by becoming more accessible. It's becoming easier to get. Specifically with apps, for people who are older, per se, it has become more accessible, easier to get, and easier to understand. So I think that has been the pivotal point at telemedicine specifically.
And Lizzie, when you look at insurance plans, there are so many different life situations, particularly here in Brooklyn. What is the situation in terms of a young professional, someone that's part-time in college, not necessarily full-time? There are so many different situations and life situations now that you deal with in Brooklyn. How is Healthfirst perhaps devising and catering to the different, there's not just the nuclear family, but the different kinds of families and life situations that exist?
That's right. So us as a community plan, we are hyper-local. So for example, we work together closely with each of our members to get the coverage that they need the best, and that matches them the best, of course.
And today, so you're located in Brooklyn, but it's New York statewide. How wide of a range is Healthfirst now?
We're talking about the 5 boroughs, specifically Orange, Sullivan County, Staten Island, you name it.
And everybody loves to know, well, look, how about my doctor? What is the range and the flexibility to at least have some of your doctors, if not all of them?
That's right. So for here, Healthfirst, specifically for us, we have a wide network of providers. Also, as an organization, we work closely with hospitals, which also is very much part of that provider engagement. So with Healthfirst, you will definitely find your provider.
What do you see coming up in the next short term, 1 year, 3 years from now with health insurance that people need to know, either someone with family or a single person that is just about to graduate college? Very scary thing.
Very. I will see more specifically in the next year and 3 years, more knowledge, more education in terms of how to use health insurance, how to acquire health insurance, and how to be healthy in general overall. That's what I see for the future. And of course, I think that also people are going to become more knowledgeable in terms of the need for health insurance. It happened during the pandemic mostly, but I think that people understand more the need of why you need to have health insurance, right?
Right. And Lizzie, what are the questions that people don't know to ask when people ask you, but just your general advice, someone that's about to go shopping, what do they have to ask to find out about that is maybe perhaps the fine print or not obvious?
I would say the biggest question would be, how can I apply? How can I apply for health insurance? It's where it starts. We have facilitator enrollers and assisters that normally help members step by step to complete those services and to complete that enrollment process, which could be scary, right? Looking into New York State Health Marketplace and trying to do it on your own, it could be scary, but that's where we come in and we do it step by step with you, helping you to create and select that plan that works for you. So that's one of the questions, yeah.
If they want to visit you in person, you're in Sunset Park, how do they get to you?
That's right. They can get to me in Sunset Park. They can come to us very close to KCC in Brighton Beach as well. We have hyper-local community offices directed in the neighborhoods because we are New Yorkers for New Yorkers.
Lizzie Navarro, District Sales Manager of Healthfirst, thank you so much for being here.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Third quarter coming up. Hostos up here over BMCC on Facebook Live.
Thank you.
How easy is health insurance with Healthfirst? Absolutely easy with our app. Can you search for a doctor? Absolutely. Can you access your member ID? Absolutely. Download our app today.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
College, the Hostos Caymans, 5-time defending champions. Took them some time to get their game together, but eventually they started to turn over 2-seeded BMCC at a very high rate. They lead 43-16 at the start of the third quarter. Scott, if you're Dwight Shaw, though, you know he has bigger hopes. They're probably going to be the 3 seed, maybe the 2 seed in the 16 Region 15 tournament coming up next weekend. What do you think his message was for his team at the half? As he said, he wants to play a clean, fundamentally sound, full game as Savannah Williams takes the pull-up.
Well, I think right now it's about Region 15 preparation. You know, you're working on offenses, you're working on things that maybe you haven't been doing well. Despite the fact you're up 43-16, a coach is never completely satisfied. You can't have any level of complacency if you're going to advance yourself in basketball.
Diamond Walker just hit the floater in the lane, and Diamond is up to 7. She is from Brooklyn, out of nearby South Shore High School, class of 2020. Didn't play there her senior year, played 3 years at the famed Nazareth Regional Program, also located in Brooklyn in her first 3 years. Savannah Williams, and she'll shoot 2 free throws.
Yeah, looking at some of the high schools of some of these young ladies, they're playing at some impressive high schools, and this is just a lot of poise. Getting down the lane, you went into 4 blue jerseys and able to somehow finish the play.
Savannah Williams, not just filling it up with 18 points, 6 rebounds, she's also kind of the team mom of Hostos, is an artist and a cook, even for volleyball. After games, not before games, because that just doesn't work. She would bake cakes and cupcakes for the whole team pretty often. Again, it's got to be after the game.
Well, you have to have one of those. You have to have one to be successful.
Alicia Tomby taking the pull-up jumper, decent look. Hicks with a long outlet pass to Fatoumata Diaby. And Diaby makes the nice move and scores. So Diaby, what a story. This is her first year in the United States. She and her family came over from Mali in West Africa about a year ago. Last year was her first year playing any sort of picked-up basketball. This is her first year playing organized ball. She happened to be at BMCC, saw the flyer, they were looking for players, and now she's in the starting lineup for this team.
Very impressive.
Savannah Williams this time shows the left hand and the foul.
You know, we keep talking about Savannah Williams, what she does so well. Look at her. Her head is up the entire time. From midcourt to the finish, she sees the rim north to south. And I love it. She's playing with a smile. I mean, you're up 50, you're up by a big margin in the championship game. There's nothing reason to smile, but what a great game she's having.
And it's got to feel great for her. She missed 4 games due to an ankle injury late in January. As Emily Kennedy picks up a foul.
Well, especially when you're averaging 12 points a game and you're already sitting at 20 points.
And Savannah is just 1 point shy of her career high set last year. Well, good news for BMCC at the start of this third quarter. Charlotte Cañete, remember she was knocked down by Ayana Hicks during a foul late second quarter. She had to leave the game. She was able to come back in. So BMCC does have their full 6-player roster available to close this one out. Kennedy tries the 3, and it spins out for her. And for Kennedy, that's just her 4th shot of the game. Zaire Bailey hit the bottom of the rim. And then Bailey is able to save her own miss. Hicks, Williams steps out and sinks the jumper. A new career high for Savannah Williams, and it comes in the CUNY Community College Championship game. 23 points.
And she's not done yet. I mean, this young lady has been doing it all.
Damaris Andrews missed the shot, but the rebound pulled out. Andrews takes the jumper again, and good activity inside by Alicia Tomby to grab that initial offensive rebound. Now Williams steps through. Kennedy has been held to just 4 points after going for 30 against Hostos in the loss 10 days ago. And Scott DeMelling was on Emily to come out aggressive early. And Hostos certainly trapped her every opportunity.
Without a doubt.
Charlotte Kennedy, number 14, has returned to the Panthers.
But this is a great opportunity now for Hostos to start to really break down what they're going to want to accomplish when they get to the next game. You know, maybe something they haven't had to run yet. You know, when you're up by a margin like this, you haven't thrown everything at them yet.
Tomby tried the three. Alicia Tomby has made 4 threes this season. And she, behind Kennedy and Andrews, is their 3rd leading scorer, as Walker frustrated on that miss in the lane. Kennedy, and still looking for a shot to go down. She made an early basket, and there we get an offensive foul. That's drawn by Andrews.
A nice crossover here and trying to make something happen. And, you know, sometimes when you drive the lane, you lose your body control, and that's what happened. You have to come to that jump stop is what we always taught, you know, in practice.
Andrews, and no deflection, she just lost it.
Kayla Rodriguez, number 11, has re-entered the game.
Now frustration setting in for these Panthers, particularly Andrews and Kennedy, that have so much pressure on their shoulders. Hicks in the lane and could not get that to fall. Kennedy and Andrews average essentially 36 points between them out of the 41 that they average as a team. There's Damaris Andrews with their first bucket of the second half.
And that's what we talked about, Damaris Andrews. When every opportunity she gets, she has to look to try to take the ball to the rack.
Diaby made the cut. Walker and Hostos from the perimeter, just 1 of 11. They have made a fair share of jump shots, though, as Kennedy turned it over, and Ayanna Hicks with the steal. Hicks, nice no-look pass, but Bailey missed the layup. And then Diaby turns it over to Kennedy. And Emily Kennedy can exhale. She's got her first basket in a long time.
Well, you could just see the look in Ayanna Hicks. She's making these great passes, and they just seem to miss on her passes. So frustrating because she loses out on the assist.
Zaire Bailey. And battle for the rebound. Bailey gets it back. Hicks has been searching for that 3 to go down for her. Not that time either. She's 0 of 5. Another fascinating element about Ayanna Hicks, Scott, is that he's a 6'3" lefty. Andrews missed the shot. And then the denial by Hicks. A flush block right around the free throw area. No shot clock reset. Kennedy forces up the contested look. Diaby, what a tough fall away. I asked in person, Scott, and it seems incredible that she only has about 2 years of basketball experience. And then you go out and see a shot like that.
You know, it looks like she's picked the game up pretty quickly just by watching and repetition.
Andrews able to double clutch and hit off the spin.
We keep talking about Andrews. You know, you have to keep taking positives out of this game for BMCC. And, you know, it's got to be this freshman, Damaris Andrews. They look to bring in a couple players, and they put them around Andrews. You know, this is going to be another team that could be sitting right in this seat next year.
Shot missed from the baseline by Diamond Walker. Andrews, again, trying to shoot around Hicks. And Williams with a run out, joined by Diaby. And then she missed her teammate then.
And just a nice job with the little spin cycle getting to the basket. Great body control.
This was a 9-6 game, 6 minutes in. BMCC was following the game plan set forth by Demel Ling before Hostos eventually had their typical kind of explosion. Wild shot by Kennedy with her back to the basket. Here's Cañete. Williams able to stop and get around Alicia Tomby, and she adds to her career high. She's up to 25.
Well, she keeps building on that, and these are all high percentage shots.
Tomby, that's a long range two. Alicia Tomby is the only returner from BMCC from last year. Last year, the Panthers played in just 4 games, but their season was canceled after December 9th due to the lack of players. Hicks missing a 3. Walker. Well, they want to appear like they want to get Hicks an open shot to go down. She'll try the corner.
We're in the final minute of play in the third quarter.
Hostos shooting 38% for the night. Kennedy, and Hicks blocks her. Williams joined on the run out, but David could not get it to fall. And there's Savannah Williams continuing to have a career night. Starred in both sports, basketball and volleyball, at White Plains High School. Kennedy will take the pull-up short. Final seconds of the third. It's a quarter that Savannah Williams will dribble out. She adds 9 more points. And the Caymans 58-24 into the fourth. We're back for the wrap-up here. First of our doubleheader on Facebook Live.
2022-23 CUNY Athletic Conference Championships are presented by Healthfirst, health insurance for New Yorkers, the official wellness sponsor of CUNY Athletics. The Hospital for Special Surgery, #1 in the U.S. for orthopedics, is proud to be the official hospital of the CUNY Athletic Conference. CUNY University Student Senate, providing our students the platform to shape the city university of New York. And Hometown Ticketing, the official ticketing provider of the CUNY Athletic Conference.
Just a 15-8 third quarter by top seed and 5-time defending champion Hostos over BMCC here at Kingsborough. Men's game will follow, fast-moving matchup. The BMCC men will take the floor against last year's finalist Queensborough coming up. that should get started around 8 p.m. or so, give or take. And we'll have the broadcast again here on Facebook Live. Hostos at 18-4, and Scott, when you break down some of their games, they've won 9 straight as they've gotten healthier, including a key win last week, February 9th, against Nassau, avenging their loss that you saw at Nassau to Garden City December 13th. They won that game 77-51 over Nassau. And a real confidence booster, I think Dwight Shaw felt ahead of the Region 15 tournament. As there's Damaris Andrews with a basket to open up the fourth quarter.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And, you know, you're the old adage, you're playing your best basketball at the right time of year. This is a team that is starting to put those pieces together at the right time. But don't get me wrong, they still have some work to do.
And if they are a 3 seed, so they'll play a quarterfinal, and then a semi perhaps against Nassau. Andrews was blocked. Lead pass ahead for Diaby is lost out of bounds. Monroe College of the Bronx is set to be the 1 seed. The bracket will be coming out, I think, on Monday for Region 15, and that's the team that Hostos lost to in both meetings. November 29th, or rather check that, that was December 6th. 84-39 they lost to Monroe the Bronx. Second meeting where they had a healthier roster, January 19th, 51-38. Is a game that Dwight Shaw thought was also significant in their hopes to again get out of the region and get to the 12-team national tournament. Andrews missed the shot. Williams with Diaby and the foul.
Number 11, Fatimata Diaby.
And Diaby, we keep talking about how impressed we are with her, with, you know, not having a lot of basketball background, but boy, I'll tell you, she's playing a really nice game, getting every opportunity to show coach what she can do.
It's got another tall lefty at 5'10", Fatimata Diaby. And she showed up in the gym back in late October with one of Dwight Shaw's assistant coaches, said she was interested in playing basketball, but I don't think he ever expected this kind of talent. He's been pleasantly surprised. She had a career-high 18-point game against Kingsborough, and now she's got 13 tonight. And there is a swished long-range 2 by Alicia Tomby. Tomby is interested in attending Baruch College next year as a student. Set to graduate in May from BMCC. And Diaby at a high post. And Hostos turns it over against the zone.
Oh, good hustle right here, and after the shot, just knocks down. How about that? A lot of confidence on that shot.
Andrews trying to get to the rim. Hicks tips it right to Kennedy. And Emily Kennedy. It's a tough acrobatic shot. So she's got 8. Only 8 points, Scott. It was just last week when she went for 30 and 11 against this same Hostos team. Also had a 30-point game at Queensborough. Morales. And she'll be called for the double dribble. Boy, Yasneli Morales would love to score in this game. And she has added a lot of scrappy defense. 5'1" freshman from the Bronx. Kennedy able to read the pass, but missed the breakaway layup. Hostos frustrated her very early. Kennedy 3 of 12 shooting. Damaris Andrews 5 of 20.
Yeah, but Kennedy's a really good ball player, and, you know, she's still only a freshman. She's going to get much better, and a good player like that's going to find a way to get hers.
Williams caught the air ball. And the foul will be on.
Number 23, Ayana Hicks. That's fourth.
Ayana Hicks of Hostos picking up her fourth.
Team's first of the quarter.
Cayman's getting this job done with one of their real key stars, appropriately named Star Garcia, with a timeout taken here, and a great time to mention Star. She's also a graduate out of Murray Bergstrom High School. And Star Garcia, we'll talk about her after, because she is also going to be on this list of the CUNY All-Stars this year. Well, here are the major awards, with Ayana Hicks getting Player of the Year and Dwight Shaw his second string Coach of the Year award.
Oh, and I think well deserved. I mean, these players right here have come together, and they have showed out here. I mean, this is a team, and I'm looking forward to following this team through the next round. And, you know, I don't even think we saw the best of Ayana Hicks today. You know, we saw a lot of bits and pieces. We saw her ability to shoot, her ability to finish, her ability to pass. That's what impresses me the most. But when this young lady puts a full game together, that's where that Player of the Year comes in.
Ayana telling me yesterday about the work she put in the offseason to be more efficient. Knew she had to become a go-to player. Last year, she started just 12 of the 20 games, averaged 8 points, 3 rebounds, and what was a deeper Hostos team. So she played a smaller role. And she's also seeking to become a veterinarian as her career goal. And if you think Ayana Hicks can cover a lot of territory, Scott, maybe part of it is because she has 5 dogs at home, and one of the dogs just had 3 puppies. As she picks this puppy up with the steal. Hicks will get a transition basket. So you better have to cover a lot of range around the house if that's now 8 dogs running around.
And she said she takes care of those dogs in the morning. I don't know how you do that. I mean, I have enough trouble taking care of the 2 I have, but that's a lot. That's a lot of dog food.
That's Alicia Tomby. She's looked good with her jumper. 3 jump shots hit, and the foul on the floor. That's like a layup line. If you're feeding 8 dogs in the morning before you head to school and basketball practice.
That's a good-looking shot there, and you know, Tomby, beautiful form.
That's her 5th made 3 of the season. Zaire Bailey, a lot of activity in and around the rim tonight. She's got 6. BMCC does lead this 4th quarter, 9-7. Andrews trying to take on Hicks and just lost it. Williams will settle into another mid-range jumper, and now she can start to think about 30. 29 points, a game high for the no-doubt MVP, Savannah Williams.
Well, when you're feeling it, you're feeling it. The ball falls in your hands at the right spots. You get to those open spots. I mean, you get great looks.
Alicia Tomby with another long-range jumper. That one is a 2, and she's got 9 all in the second half. And she has outscored Emily Kennedy. David missed along the baseline. Andrews, and she'll take the 2.
You know, Andrews, when she gets out in transition, she has the ability to make it look so easy. You know, you can see why she had the year she had.
Bailey got a nice pass from David on the baseline.
Yeah, this Hostos ball club, they're just very good passers.
And the knock away by Bailey. And a foul on the floor. And talking to Dwight Shaw about this team's strengths, loves the chemistry that is on the floor with their good ball movement.
Now you saw the passing that we were talking about. You know, the Hostos team, what they do is they get a lot of touches, and when you get a lot of touches, you get a lot of good opportunities at the basket.
Bailey missed the layup inside. Kennedy gave it up. Tomby was asking for it. After David over-dribbled, and then Andrews will run into Bailey.
You know, Ralph, we talked a little bit before about what they're going to see when they get to that Region 15 play and the different level of play that it becomes and some of the things that they're going to need to do better. And one of the things is going to be on the defensive end of the ball. You know, they could pressure. They do a good job at getting the steals and getting out of transition, but they got to do a good job of moving their feet, stopping dribble drive penetration. And if they could do that, that's going to help them at the next level.
Tomby missed the shot. And David slips down and is called for traveling. And the key player, Scott, that they're missing in terms of that potential defense, over on the bench, there are two key injured Caymans sitting right behind Coach Dwight Shaw. One is two-time CUNY All-Star Star Garcia. She tore her ACL January 14th. She's their fourth leading scorer. And a team captain. She was last year's second leading scorer at 12 a game. And really nice player that would complement Diamond Walker in the backcourt. And a no-look pass that's through the hands of Savannah Williams. And the other injured player, unfortunately, Hostos suffered two torn ACLs this year. The other player on the bench is Valencia Brown, sitting behind Dwight Shaw. So those are two key elements in addition to the players that they lost early preseason. And that's why the Caymans able to get to the finish line here with about 8 active bodies. Kennedy. And Hicks just picked up her 5th foul, and that'll be all for the CUNY Player of the Year.
And that's what we were talking about before, moving your feet and stopping that dribble drive penetration. You cannot allow splits. You can't allow teams, because that's what's going to happen is you're going to get yourself into foul trouble. And when you get yourself into foul trouble, you're coming out of the game. And, you know, and these are the things that you have to do to prepare to get better. You can't be satisfied with a championship today, whether it's a 30-point win or a 10-point win. You have to work on getting better.
So Yana Hicks fouls out. 2.5 left. And Hostos and Dwight Shaw will talk things over. Savannah Williams, frustrating season because of the injuries that she's had. 2 separate occasions she's been out, but it's all come together tonight.
Well, it's been all about transition basketball. Her ability to beat her defender up and down the floor, keeping her head up, keeping her head on the rim, making the plays, squaring the shoulders, and most important, she has finished this evening.
Savannah missing 4 games late in January off of an ankle injury, so just starting perhaps to come into form. That 29 points is a new career high, shattering it. The previous career high was 22 points on 2 occasions last year. And she has added a double-double as well, her 4th of the season.
Shattered the double-double. I mean, she's on her verge for 30 and 15.
And Emily Kennedy with 5 of her 9 points coming here in the second half.
One shot.
But to give an example, Scott, 29 shots taken against Hostos 10 days ago in the matchup. And tonight, she was just held to 13 points. How did Hostos do that and change that around and take her out of her game?
Well, you know, when you keep up the ball pressure and you keep up the when you set the tempo, you take away the tempo of the opposite team's best player. And that's what they've done today.
Kennedy weaves through with Hicks no longer in the middle, and she'll take the layup.
Number 24.
And what a difference the paint looks without that kind of presence.
She has strong moves to the basket, too.
And Walker sees that go through her hands.
And how about this move? Look at this. She just splints. She splits defenders on 2 occasions and gets to the basket. Those are typically plays that we as coaches, we would always watch on tape, and those would be the topics of discussion at the next practice, not allowing splits.
Andrews rimmed down to 3. BMCC here has outscored Hostos by 6 in the quarter. And that'll be a foul. And that will be all for Damaris Andrews and her freshman season.
That was a great call there. Got a little late to the party on that one. But what I love to see is that both these teams are making that effort to take charges on every possession.
So the CUNY Rookie of the Year's freshman season comes to an end, and she'll end up leading BMCC in scoring today with 17. And a double-double with 11 rebounds. She was forced to handle against pressure all day. And Hostos turned her over a lot. Kennedy turns it over. 34th of BMCC's night. And there's Zaire Bailey finishing off the layup as the trail runner. Hostos by 30. Inside the final minute coming up. Top seed Queensboro, 2-seeded BMCC on the men's side. That should get started probably a little after 8 p.m.
1 minute remaining in the fourth quarter.
Diaby tried the right-hand layup. And out of bounds to the Panthers. So the Region 15 tournament will be next for the Caymans officially. They'll take a 10-game winning streak into that game with them. They've got the revenge game over Nassau Community College. And should they face Monroe the Bronx for the 3rd time, they'll have to, you know what they say, hard to beat a good team 3 times in the same year. That'll be a factor should they meet up in a potential semifinal or Region 15 championship game. As Kennedy will get the roll and have a chance at a 3-point play.
You know, Region 15 tournament's always a lot of fun to watch, and some good basketball. That strong move, drawing the contact.
Kennedy ended up with a quiet 14 points. But that is going to end up deciding at least a 1 quarter for BMCC. And Scott, according to my research, it has been at least 5 years since an opponent in CUNY won a quarter from Hostos. This is going to be a 20-13 fourth for BMCC, just as a footnote. But otherwise, the Hostos dynasty continues. The Caymans win their 58th straight game against CUNY competition and their 6th straight CUNY championship. And they're off to the Region 15 tournament, winners of 10 in a row, and at 19-4, getting healthier. and a team that looks very much ready to get back to the national tournament again.
67% from the line.
Well, the trophy presentation coming up, and have an interview with the championship game MVP. Seems to be very obvious who that is. And then have the men's game coming up.
At a team high of 17 points. Well, the Hostos Community College
Celebration underway for the Hostos Caymans on Facebook Live.
50% from the line. The top scorers this evening.
2022-23 CUNY Athletic Conference Championships are presented by Healthfirst, health insurance for New Yorkers, the official wellness sponsor of CUNY Athletics. The Hospital for Special Surgery, #1 in the U.S. for orthopedics, is proud to be the official hospital of the CUNY Athletic Conference. CUNY University Student Senate, providing our students the platform to shape the City University of New York. And Hometown Ticketing, the official ticketing provider of the CUNY Athletic Conference.
How easy is health insurance with Healthfirst? Absolutely easy, with our app. Can you search for a doctor? Absolutely. Can you access your member ID? Absolutely. Download our app today.
I'll give you something, make you shake it, shake it. You better get yourself ready, 'cause I'm about to do my thing. Oh, hey, hey. I've seen it from the van, now we're dancing on the house lights. Oh, hey, hey. I'm turning on the dime, now we're flipping on the upside, upside, upside. I'm turning on the dime, now we're flipping on the upside.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
It took the Hostos Caymans some time to get going tonight, but otherwise they finished the job. 6 straight CUNY Community College championships. The MVP is going to be Savannah Williams. The head coach is Dwight Shaw, who is now with Scott Green.
And the team captain, so please pick up the runner-up trophy being presented to you by Mr. Carl Christian. Congratulations.
Coach, what a terrific win here today. You know, you get yourself another championship. What does it mean for a team like this to win this championship?
It means everything to Hostos. It means everything to the community. It means everything to the young ladies that we have. I'm just grateful for every game that we can take.
You know, you come out. They hung with you in the beginning of the game, but what was the difference that you were able to pull this one out in this type of fashion?
We just fought a little bit harder defensively. That was it, honestly. It was a good game with both, and I decided to move a little bit faster than we usually move.
Now you move to the Region 15. Teams get better. Players are faster. They're stronger. Better basketball ability. Now that you've seen what you've seen, what does this team need to improve upon to make a deep run in that Region 15?
First thing we have to do is get healthy. We're very banged up, and by the grace of God, we just keep moving on. So we have to tighten some stuff up defensively and offensively move the ball a little bit better.
Talk about the performance of Savannah Williams today. Career high, 29 points.
Career high. The things that Savannah does for Hostos for this program is sometimes it doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but tonight it did, and I'm very, very ecstatic for her. And I hope that she shows a lot of colleges that she can do a little bit of everything. She can score, she can assist, she can rebound, and she can defend.
Congratulations on a great win. Best of luck in the Region 15.
Thank you.
Dwight Shaw knows his team has work to do, but satisfied with another championship. It's more hard work and championship game experience for his still very new supporting players. But Savannah Williams with the big nights. We'll talk to her momentarily. Hostos ends up shooting 39% from the floor, but they end up turning over BMCC 35 times in the game. That was a big factor, including a 26-9 second quarter that really separated for the Caymans. Savannah Williams is the MVP with 29 and 13, 6 assists as well, 3 steals, and she is now with Scott.
Savannah, I see you're all smiles. You're able to pull out the championship today. What makes this team so special?
I think what makes it special is that for some reason when championship comes around, we just want it a lot more. Like, we're just a lot more hungrier because we feel like, you know, we're the underdogs in kind of a way, so we're just happy to take everything we can get. And even this is a little thing of something that we want bigger. This is the first step, so we're celebrating the little things first.
Now let's talk about your play today. You know, you come into this game, you've endured some injuries throughout the course of the year. What does it mean to you to have your career high 29 points, 13 rebounds in a championship game?
It means that all the work that I've been doing that I'm going to continue to do was worth it. And I'm excited for next week and the next couple of weeks where I have more games and I get to continue getting career highs. So yeah, I'm just happy that the work I'm putting in is finally showing. Like, I'm happy for myself, I'm proving myself and everybody else that I can do this and that this is my sport and that this is my thing.
Now, you guys have experienced a lot of success this year. Now you move to the Region 15 tournament. What does this team need to do to pull out and advance again?
Same thing we did today, just play together, trust each other, and remember that we want to win and remember what goals we want.
Congratulations on a great win. Ralph, back to you.
Savannah Williams off to celebrate with her teammates. Yeah, and you could hear it in her voice how satisfying this career night is for her, shattering her previous career high of 22 points, set a couple times last year. And the Caymans getting healthier at the right time. 2 torn ACLs this season for the Caymans. That's certainly hurt their depth and perhaps challenged some of their dominance, particularly in the region. But they're going into the Region 15 tournament, having won 10 straight and some momentum, as well as some of the humble pie perhaps they faced with a couple of their losses this year. Caymans 19-4 on the season, capturing their 6th straight CUNY Community College Championship. Congratulations to Dwight Shaw, who does it again. And for the Caymans, they add to this remarkable program's history with their 10th CUNY tournament title. So the men's game is coming up. Queensboro and BMCC should get started probably around 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time here on Facebook Live. Why don't you join us then? For our entire crew, including our director, Frank Squandro, producer Mark Frado, for my partner Scott Green, I'm Ralph Norchick saying so long and talk to you very soon from Kingsborough. Hostos captures their 6th straight women's championship, defeating BMCC on Facebook Live.